Today, let's check out Podchaser. Hey, I'm Jonathan with App Axis, and I help independent healthcare providers, especially direct primary care providers, reach their audience, let them know the message about direct primary care. First, before we begin the video about Podchaser, I just wanted to share with you all my apologies about not posting regularly. I'm going to improve. I wish I could say I had some excuse, but tell you the truth, I was just busy with doing other things and getting web pages redone and homeschooling and the like. 2020 has been really crazy, but I can't say all entirely bad. I know there's a lot of bad news for some people with how their health has been, or family members, their concerns there, social justice issues and the like. So 2020 is definitely going to go down as memorable, but I still wanted to continue to provide value to my community, especially considering that my channel has been growing in my absence. So I wanted to apologize to those new subscribers. Trust me, content comes a lot faster than every 4 months or whatever it's been since last time I posted. I will do a better job. Right, Kim? So let's discuss Podchaser. What is Podchaser? So basically, if you're big into podcasts and you know I'm a podcast evangelist, one of the issues that keeps coming up is discoverability. How do we, make it the YouTube, the Netflix of podcasting, is what comes up a lot, especially if you listen to Libsyn and roundtables and Dave Jackson and stuff like that. But if you're up on podcasting, like if you're a podcast creator, or if you're a serious podcast consumer, which you should be using Overcast, but let's say you're in that community where you take podcasting seriously. It's your own, playground. You won't get kicked off. And I agree with that. And congratulations to Joe Rogan. All right, enough with the asides. But anyway, Podchaser is basically the community. It's a community that was created to help network, help that discoverability issue, and to help other podcasters engage with each other. So you could use traditional forms of social media, but because Podchaser is so specific to podcasting, it marries up the different shows to say, hey, you know this person, you know that person, do you listen to this, you listen to that, that host also does this. Here's what we think you can do. You can be a guest on his show, be a guest on her show, interact, engage, meet new people that have a common interest, where it's harder for podcasting, unlike YouTube that has that visual aspect. It's harder for podcasting to really catch on in terms of suggestions and keeping the flow going in the community. So let's take a look at Podchaser and take a look at what's going on their desktop right now. So here I am on Podchaser, and this is my page. And when I signed up, it was a very intricate onboarding process. They said, well, who are you? Use your real name. And some of you might be like, well, why do I need to post my real name? It's because they're actually trying to get people in touch with people, not shows, not avatars in touch with avatars. They want to actually say, Jonathan. It's like LinkedIn almost in that regard. So the onboarding process starts with you saying, hey, I'm Jonathan, and I have a show called Appointment, and it's about this topic, and I like to engage with other people about this topic. My ideal guests are this person, that person, that person, that person. These are the shows that I like. Here are some that I follow. And you add those to the website. And so let me show you here. So I've already followed some of the stuff that I've already followed is the Podcast Engineering School, or show rather. He does have a school. But of course, I think every podcaster should be subscribed to Libsyn, the feed, which keeps you in touch with the latest and greatest in terms of what Apple and what Google and what Spotify and what Pandora and what all these companies that have a real large stake in podcasting, are discussing, and what they're determining is our future, which podcasting, anyway, I'm not going to get into that. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, so basically what it does, of course, it adds your shows, and you can have all the links, and you can play the episode right off the the browser here and everything, but that's not where it thrives. That's not what Podchaser does best. You can browse podcasts, make lists, interact with other creators. So you search for a creator, and then you're like, it'll provide you it'll auto-populate a list of people that it thinks you're interested in, which then makes it easier for you to get in touch with them. So for instance, let's see, if I go to connect. So what they do is they have you fill out a form, and they say, you know, they ask you details about who you have in mind, what shows are you interested in being a guest on, and who you would like becoming a guest on your show. And this is where I think where Podchaser is going to take off, is getting other podcasters in touch with each other in an organic way. It's like a social media aspect to it, and I can't wait to see the results for it. I just recently signed up, so I don't know if I'm going to get results from that. I'm going to do my own networking in the meantime, but you probably didn't see that page there, did you? But anyway, moving on. So Podchaser basically collects and organizes all of your ratings, your reviews across the spectrum, because Apple is different in every country, and it's hard to keep track of all your reviews, your ratings, and stuff like that. So I would recommend, if you're a podcaster or if you're interested in podcast shows, that you go ahead and sign up for Podchaser. It's free. It's a community. It's like a social media of podcasting. And from there, what you can do is they'll just let you know through alerts every week, or however you set it up, how often you set that up, to get that feedback, to hear, hey, I'm also a creator in this space. I would like you to come on, and maybe our audiences will both benefit, and it provides value for the audience in that regard. I'm really actually rooting for Podchaser, and just by looking around who's signed up for it as well, it's serious podcasters that are more on the mid-tier in terms of popularity. I've seen everybody up and down the spectrum from Joe Rogan on down, you know, and celebrities and stuff. But the behemoths of any entertainment field, I'm kind of like, yeah, that's great, but I want the actual community part of it. I want the people that I can actually tweet and then say, hey, bro, you know, hey, girlfriend, I'm trying to get on your show. What's good? You know, well, let's talk about this. Our audience has a lot in common. Those are the people I'm really trying to reach. And I think that this is where Podchaser comes in handy, as well as marrying all the ratings and reviews across the web. So anyway, that's a little bit of an insight into Podchaser. I think you'll be interested in signing up for it if you are a podcast creator, or if you like speaking and engagement in different avenues. Let's say you have a marketing plan you just wrote a book on something and you want to see all the podcasts in that space. You could do a search, but you can also go on Podchaser and actually consolidate. All that is consolidated into one space. I think you should check it out. What do you use right now? What are your interests? What are you using to find podcasts that you like? Is it just Twitter? Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube for discoverability? Because that's pretty easy. That's how I find a lot of my podcasts, is just searching YouTube. And then I say, oh man, that's interesting. And then I hop over to Overcast and subscribe there. So with that, just let me know what your thoughts are. What are your concerns? What are you using? And I'd like to also let you know that I've put together a PDF of all the things you would need to future-proof your podcast. Let's say you've already started a podcast and you don't want to learn the hard way and buy twice. You just want to buy once, get it out the way, and you're ready for any possible growth in the future. You want to take this seriously and ride this off into the sunset. I've put together a free download. It's at podcastaxis.com. That's podcastaxis.com. Get your free download there. And there's a lot of tips and tricks and tutorials that I have coming more and more through that website. So it's up and running and it's going to get going, and I'm excited about it. I put a lot of work behind it, and I wish you the best in your podcasting future, and like and subscribe as usual. Thanks.